couldn't guard their guards. You know, couldn't guard them. You know, they just came at us off the bounce the whole game, and Chris was not very good in his ball screen defense, but in his defense, when your guards are getting beat off the dribble every single time, you're on help mode. You can't be aggressive in your coverage because you're always trying to protect the rim. And now when zone, and just like shoot around today, we had, you know, Brian was Q Witherspoon, and the same two guys that we were going over their zone stuff one last time, same two guys that gave Q Witherspoon the open three when it's a one-point game were the same two guys that messed up the coverage in the game. Can't win if you're not disciplined in one-possession games in the last 4 minutes of the game. You can't win. And that ends up on my plate.
Frank, another game that's kind of right there to be had, and guys just can't quite get it done. Just how much of a challenge is it to kind of shake the team out of that and keep those losses from sinking in too badly?
I don't worry about that kind of stuff, man. If they start worrying about getting depressed, they probably need to find something else to do.
Frank, you mentioned kind of the defense tonight. Just what do you have to do to work on and improve man-to-man defense and kind of get better over the stretch?
Yeah, I just said this on the radio outside. You know, think back to the Western Michigan game. I know it seems like 6 years ago, but I tried everybody on their point guard. And finally, in a timeout, I said, Justin, let's try you. And Justin was the one guy that put up a fight so he didn't get destroyed off the dribble. And we have made progress from there. But we haven't guarded real good, you know, last couple games. Even Texas Tech, we weren't very good defensively. We fought. We had more spirit than we had today. But we haven't defended real well. And but we're right now we're just getting thoroughly outplayed at the point guard spot. And we can't guard point guards, and we're not really getting much, you know, offensively from our point guards, and that's not good. But those guys, you know, they come every day and they work, and we'll stay the course, and we you know kind of figured it out 2 weeks ago. Hopefully we can figure it out again.
Yeah, Frank, going off of that, how much was Justin's absence kind of impact the defense tonight, not having out there for whatever you're trying to play?
It leads us in minutes played at the guard spot for a reason. You know, it's not because I think he's good looking. It's not because, you know, because he's a nice guy. It's not because he doesn't make mistakes. He leads us in minutes played for a reason. And, you know, it's not having him hurts us defensively. Hurts us discipline-wise. He's you know, he's usually in the right spot. Sometimes his mistakes are just as a freshman, just not strong enough, not just a step slow on something. But it's not because he's not in the right place. And but he wasn't there, and you got to get it done regardless, you know. And we didn't get it done.
Frank, what's the status of Minaya and Holden going forward? And you know, if they can't play, what do you keep experimenting there, or you just kind of tried all the options already?
You know, Justin's a sprained ankle, and the swelling went down from yesterday to today. I don't get in the middle of injuries, Gene. I'm just telling you. I tore my ACL and checked myself back in the game with a torn ACL. So if I got in the middle of injuries, I'd probably get in trouble. So I just stay out of it. When they're healthy, they got to play. Corey practiced on Monday, the whole practice, and he came back yesterday and said he felt that it got tight on him. But you know, our trainers off the charts good. Our doctors are off the charts good. They're not going to put a young man on the court that's not healthy enough to play. They're just not going to do it. I'm never going to make a kid or insinuate to a kid that he should play. They know their bodies. I'm the wrong person for that because I coach Michael Beasley. Michael Beasley didn't like to tape his ankles, and my rule is if you don't tape your ankles and you turn your ankle, you got to keep practicing. That is a rule. So they all taped their ankles. He didn't like to tape his ankles. He'd turn his ankle at least once a week. He never missed a practice. Sindarius is, and when was it? His freshman or sophomore year? Yeah. The day that I had that great coaching idea, we only had 8 guys, and I decided to play volleyball instead of practicing. Sophomore year, and we're leaving for Auburn the following day, and it was late in the year. Those guys had really tried, and they were tired. So instead of practicing, I said, let's play volleyball. So on match point, they had a great time. Match points, and there spikes the ball to win the game, lands on a guy's foot, turns his ankle. The next day shows up, his foot, right away balled up. He got on the plane, went to Auburn, and he played. I didn't tell him to play. He wanted to play. But everyone's different, I stay out of injuries, man. That's between the doctors, our trainers, and the young men. When they feel good about themselves, we expect them to go. If they don't feel good, then no one's going to ask them to go. That's not the way. I don't function that way. That's why my knees are so bad, because I'm not very good making those decisions.
What have you noticed from David Beatty in the last couple of games? It seemed like he was kind of getting in the dirty areas and getting intense in there.
Yeah, David's been a lot better last couple of days in practice. He's actually coming in the gym at night and putting in time. So the ball's starting to go in for him a little bit in practice, and he played aggressively offensively today. I mean, what was he? 1 for what from the 3? 1 for 5. But I thought he was aggressive. David defensively is where he needs to. Got to get better. Got to get better. I say this to him. I say this to recruits. I say it to everybody. Kids today's day and age, they don't practice at the high school level the way they used to. They play a lot of, travel ball, and then, everyone wants to play like the NBA, so let's just ball screen and everyone just stand around and watch, and let's take turns who's got the ball screen. So I get it when they don't understand rotations. I understand when they don't understand gap coverages, because those are all team concepts that you got to practice over and over and over to get it. What I don't get is, since that's the only thing, for the most part, kids do at the high school level right now, why are they so bad guarding the basketball? And it's not him. It's everybody. It's across the board. It's across the country. It's an epidemic. At least guard the ball. I mean, I learned when I was a young kid playing at the park with older guys, if I didn't guard the ball, they were taking me out of the game. I was never, ever, ever, ever being allowed to play again. And I couldn't play. But I wanted to play, so I'd fight the guy before he beat me off the dribble. But, we right now it's like an epidemic. It's like parting of the Red Sea. And that's his challenge. He's got to get better at that. And he's trying. I got no problem with Dave. Dave's trying. He's practiced well lately. Even if Justin was healthy today, he's probably getting minutes today because he's prepared himself to help us.
Frank, in the first half, you guys did a pretty good job on Q Witherspoon denying him the ball and making his shots a little bit tougher. The second half, he got loose a little bit. Is that just a really good player doing what he does, or did the defense break down a little bit on him?
A little bit of both, but that's just, that's no different than the kids, Evans for Texas Tech the other day. Q's the same way. Those guys have been through the ropes. They understand. They don't panic. It's. I was watching our game with them here at home last year. Sindarius, I think, had 3 points at the half, then had 14 in the second half. That's what good players do. They're not one of the better 3-point shooting teams. They came out and made threes, and it's our inability to guard the ball right now is. And it's not like from the power forward or the small forward. It's just like from the point guard spot. We just can't guard the ball.
With some of those turnovers that kind of led to runouts, was there a common theme with those, or was it kind of a little bit of everything?
Had 10 turnovers in the first half. I think we only had 3 in the second half, but all 3 were steals that led to breakaway layups. That's been a year-long problem for us. We had the game. I don't want to say in the balance, but we're kind of controlling the tempo of the game. And late in the first half, there, and I called timeout. I decided I'm going to be a basketball coach, so I called timeout, run a play. Mike Kotsar has a chance to shoot a 5-foot shot. Instead, he kills his dribble, throws it backwards so they can steal it at the half-court line and shoot a layup. Then we go down, miss free throws, and they throw the ball inbounds, or they get the defensive rebound, their point guard, and he dribbles the length of court, shoots a layup at the buzzer. 4 points just on bad basketball at the end of the half. Everyone's like, well, the end of the game. Well, those 4 points at the end of the game, it's bad basketball by us. Created a major problem for us, and but it's that's been our problem the whole year, is bad turnovers. And it's it's not driving the ball and a guy taking a charge at the rim. It's just bad turnovers. And then we got some of our young guys just, I don't want to say they're soft because it's not fair, but they don't have the toughness to come up with certain basketballs yet, and that they've got to get better. They wait on the ball. In college, you wait on the ball, you're in trouble.